Hello and welcome to this edition of Question Hour from inside the Parliament House complex, wherein we bring you some important questions asked by the members of Parliament and responded to by the government in the previous session. I am Vishal Dahiya and with me is my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Vishal. So let's take our viewers through important questions that we've picked up in this edition of Question Hour. And the first question that we've picked up is from member Parimal Nathwani, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Home Affairs. And Mr. Nathwani has asked about the salient features and aspects of the draft action plan on women's safety.
Well, the Ministry of Home Affairs, in its detailed response to this question, says that the government accords utmost priority to the safety of women in the country. For effective deterrence, the government has enacted the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018, which prescribes more stringent penal provisions, including death penalty, for rape of a girl below the age of 12 years. To provide for swift administration of justice in rape cases, it mandates completion of investigation and trials within 2 months each. In order to ensure that the amendments in law effectively translate at ground level and to enhance women's safety in the country, the government has undertaken implementation of a number of measures, such as the Ministry of Home Affairs has launched an online analytical tool for police called Investigation Tracking System for Sexual Offences to monitor and track time-bound investigation in sexual assault cases in accordance with the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018. The MHA has launched the National Database on Sexual Offenders, that is NDSO, on 20th of September 2018 to facilitate investigation and tracking of sexual offenders across the country by law enforcement agencies. The Emergency Response Support System, which provides a single emergency number, that is 112-based computer-aided dispatch of field resources to the location of distress, has been operationalized in 20 states and union territories in 2018-19. And the MHA has also launched a cybercrime portal on 20th of September 2018 for citizens to report obscene content. Further, cybercrime forensic labs have also been set up in several states, and training of over 3,664 personnel, including 410 public prosecutors and judicial officers in identifying, detecting and resolving cybercrimes against women and children, have been imparted. The next question is addressed to the Ministry of Home Affairs, and this one comes in from member D. Kupendra Reddy, who wants to know from the government whether it has taken any steps for police and intelligence reforms for improving internal security.
Well, police reforms are an ongoing process and intelligence reforms are its integral part. Police is a state subject falling in list or the state list of the 7th Schedule of Constitution of India. It is primarily the responsibility of the state government or union administrations to implement police reforms measures. The centre also issues advisories to the states to bring in the requisite reforms in the police administration to meet the expectations of the people and improve the working conditions of the police personnel. Further, to strengthen internal security, the multi-agency centre at the central level and the subsidiary multi-agency centres at the state level have been created as a multi-agency intelligence coordination mechanism for counter-terrorism with mandate to share, collate and disseminate terrorism-related inputs. A dedicated and secure network has been established across the country for sharing data-based intelligence. Under the scheme of assistance to states for modernization of police, 10% of the amount of total allocation was earmarked in the year 2018-19 as incentive to the state governments for implementation of police reforms. For the year 2018-19, 10 states, namely Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand have been assessed eligible for award of incentives and grant of 7.69 crore rupees, each out of which total incentives of 76.90 crore were released to these states. For the year 2019-20, the percentage of incentive to state governments for implementation of police reforms has been increased to 20% of total allocation. The next question has been asked by member M.V. Rajiv Gowda, and Mr. Gowda has asked about the reasons for amending the Foreigners Tribunal's Order 1964 to authorize state government and district magistrates to set up tribunals under the order.
Well, the Ministry of Home Affairs, in its response to this question, says that the Foreigners Tribunal Order 1964 is applicable to the entire country. It provides that one or more foreigners tribunals can be established in states as per its requirement. However, foreigners tribunals have been set up only in the state of Assam at present. Paragraph 8 of the schedule approved to the Citizenship, Registration of Citizens and Issue of National Identity Card Rules 2003 provides that person not satisfied with the outcome of the decisions of the claims and objections under the NRC process in Assam may prefer an appeal before the designated tribunal. However, no procedure for making of such an appeal, and its disposal has been prescribed in the aforesaid schedule. The Foreigners Tribunal's Amendment Order 2019 provides a specific procedure for disposal of an appeal mentioned above. It further provides a procedure for disposal of cases when a person referred to in paragraph 8 of the aforesaid schedule does not prefer an appeal before the designated tribunal. It further provides that the concerned state government or the UT administration or the district collector may refer to the tribunal for its opinion the question whether the said person is a foreigner or not within the meaning of the Foreigners Act 1946. Well, the next question is to the Ministry of Communications, and this one comes in from member KK Ragesh, who wants to know from the government whether it has received any proposal from BSNL for capital infusion or availing bank loans to expand and maintain the network.
In the response, the government says that there is no proposal from Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited or BSNL for capital infusion to expand and maintain the network. However, BSNL has been seeking approval of the government for availing bank loans to meet the capital expenditure or operational expenditure requirements. The government further says that approval for availing loan of 4,300 crore rupees to meet the capex requirement for financial year 2018-19 was granted on 1st of March 2019. Proposal for approval of additional borrowing for capex of 3,306 crore rupees over and above 4,300 crore has already been granted for BSNL in May 2019. In addition, approval for availing loan for OPEX of 5,000 crore rupees during financial year 2018-19 was granted on 14th of March 2019. Against that, loan of 2,200 crore was availed by BSNL in financial year 2018-19. For remaining amount, the validity of the approval has been extended up to 31st of July 2019. The next question has been asked by member A. Vijay Kumar, and this one also pertains to the Ministry of Communications. And Mr. Kumar has asked about the number of Indian Post payment banks proposed to be established in the country.
Well, the government, in its response to this question, says that India Post Payment Bank, that is IPPB, has been established at national level on 1st of September 2018. The bank has 650 branches covering all the states and union territories across the country and more than 1,35,000 banking access points, out of which 1,10,000 are in rural areas. The government further says that in order to attract deposits, India Post Payments Bank is offering a bouquet of banking services to customers, which includes services like mobile banking, SMS banking, quick response card in linkages of IPPB accounts with post office savings account to enable seamless interoperable transactions between the two for convenience of the customers. Further, more than 2 lakh doorstep banking service providers, that is Postman and Grameen Dak Sevaks, are offering comprehensive suite of banking services, including completely paperless and instant account opening, cash deposits, withdrawal, money transfers and bill payments. The next question is addressed to the Ministry of Ayurveda, and this one comes in from member Vinay P. Sahasrabuddhe, and he wants to know from the government about the number of research centers opened in the last 3 years to further study in Ayurvedic sciences, Unani medicine, homeopathy, yoga and Siddha.
The Central Council for Research in Ayurvedic Sciences, Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, Central Council for Research in Unani Medicine, Central Council for Research in Siddha and Central Council for Research in Homeopathy are apex bodies in their respective systems of healthcare under the Ministry of Ayush. Council-wise research centers opened during the last 3 years are CCRAS 2, CCRUM 1, CCRH 2, CCRYN 4 and also CCRS 3. The ministry has been implementing central sector scheme for promotion of information, education and communication in Ayush to create awareness regarding Ayush systems. The scheme envisages projects like events and programs including National State Arogya Fairs, Ayurveda Parvs and participating in seminars, exhibitions, workshops and conferences, etc. This ministry is also observing important days like the International Day of Yoga, Ayurveda Day, Unani Day, Homeopathy Day, Siddha Day and also the Naturopathy Day. Let's move on to the last question asked by member D. Kupendra Reddy, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Ayurveda again, and he has asked whether the government has set up any regulator or regulatory mechanism to check Ayush education and fake products in the country.
Well, the government in its response says that for Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani systems, Central Council of Indian Medicine is a statutory body set up under the Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970. And for homeopathy system, the Board of Governors has been constituted by the central government to exercise the powers and perform the function of council. For Ayush products, the government has set up Pharmacopoeia Commission of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy and Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia Committee to develop the standards of Ayush medicine. Further, the regulatory and quality control mechanism for Ayurvedic medicines were established in accordance with the provisions of the Central Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940 and the Drugs and Cosmetic Rule 1945. In the connection, Rule 170 under Drugs and Cosmetics Rule 1945 has been recently notified, specially for prohibition of misleading advertisements of Ayurvedic, Siddha and Unani drugs. For this, the state governments are responsible to enforce the legal provisions for manufacturing and quality of Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani and homeopathy drugs. So, Kriti, that's all we have for our viewers in this segment of Question Hour.
That's right, Vishal, but Prashn Kal on the other side with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Stay tuned.